The end of an Oregon era.
Next Sunday begins our adventure from Oregon all the way back to North Carolina, across the country. It's 3,500 miles. Also, it got us further down the road for Operation Get Home for the holidays.
I'll be home for Christmas.
You know, whatever. Hey y'all, welcome back. Project RV Living Lost. I am Thomas. This is Victoria.
2 episodes ago, we showed you the amazing time we had at the Redwoods National and State Parks. And if you did not see that episode, check it out. We'll have the link somewhere up here.
Victoria has just finished up her travel nursing contract in Salem, Oregon. And as part of Operation Get Home for the holidays,
I'll be home for Christmas.
Whatever we're calling it, Redwoods National Park was our first stop on our way home.
We're really counting our drive from Oregon to the Redwoods as day 1. So we've kind of already started this trip. But today, we really need to put our pedal to the metal. And spoiler alert, we're actually in Charlotte right now, so we did make it home.
We've driven the entire country before, but to date, this will be our longest drive, 3,500 miles in 6 days.
This trip, we decided to really focus on how much it costs to get across the country in our RVs. So that includes our RV park costs and our gas.
We're also gonna have some really good tips and tricks for you when it comes to having a successful cross-country road trip. So y'all jump on in, buckle up.
There are a couple things to note as we start this trip. We drive a 2017 Ford F-250 that takes gas, and we are pulling a 34-foot travel trailer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, as we go through mountainous terrain especially, we average probably under 10 miles a gallon. Our road trip from Salem, Oregon to Charlotte, North Carolina took us all the way down California and over. Now, this may not seem like the fastest route because, well, it's not. But we chose this route because we looked at the weather and we wanted to avoid the large cold front going across the country and all of the snow that was promised to come along with it. Day 1 of our road trip was from Salem, Oregon to the Redwoods. We spent $212 on gas as well as $56 at the Elk Country RV Resort. Day 2 of our road trip, we got to enjoy the beautiful changing landscapes from Northern California to Southern California.
I don't know. We've never been to the San Francisco area, so we have no idea what we're looking at, but I don't think that we're on the Golden Gate Bridge,
No,
unfortunately.
I'm pretty sure it's over there.
California's fog.
By far the thickest fog I've ever had to drive through.
And we've been in it for a hot minute now. I hope it breaks in. Jeez.
In total, we spent $426 on gas and $67 on the Bakersfield KOA.
drive day number 2. The goal today is to get to Phoenix. We woke up in Bakersfield, California at not such a great start time today because we actually didn't roll into our KOA until like 11 o'clock last night.
Yeah,
so it was
day.
a long drive day. GPS wise, it says we're looking at about an 8-hour drive.
Which is much better, but I guess it all kind of depends on like traffic, especially through LA, but like I currently think that it's better than it was in San Francisco because we were at standstill for a while there.
That's true. We were coming through at 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Right now, we are actually driving through LA, and Victoria's handling it pretty well, I'd say.
Actually really pretty around here. I didn't really know that was the backdrop to the city.
Our first time in LA.
When planning your stops for a road trip, it's important to remember that you're going to be driving a little bit slower with the RV behind you than the GPS tells you. We generally add 1 to 2 hours to our estimated time of arrival for a full drive day. One good tool to help you plan your trip is the RV Trip Wizard. It not only helps you find RV parks along the way, but also makes sure that your route is RV safe.
So we officially just passed one of our favorite national parks, Joshua Tree, and I gotta tell you, it feels great to be back in the desert. It's like a second home.
Yeah, honestly, after being here for like 8 months out of the last 2 years, it does feel kind of like coming home. Also, at this point on the road, which is Highway 10, right?
East, 10 East.
10 East. We have officially driven every inch of this road all the way until you get about to the East Coast where you head back up to get to Charlotte. So, familiar territory.
That's right. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels nice to have the sun on our skin after probably about a month and a half of gloomy, cloudy, rainy Oregon. So, kind of love the Southwest for that.
Now the sun's about to go down, so we're about to enjoy a nice desert sunset facing the right way so the sun's not glaring in our eyes. So it should be nice.
Thank God for eastbound.
Our travel day from Bakersfield, California to Tucson, Arizona cost us $224 in gas and $57 for the Tucson KOA.
Okay, about to kick off day 3 travel day. We got a little ambitious yesterday. We bypassed Phoenix completely and went all the way to Tucson, which made it about a 10-11 hour drive day.
Yeah, we landed here probably about 11 o'clock, but we are at the Tucson KOA holiday that we stayed at when we went to Saguaro National Park, so we know it's nice.
Yes.
We also got to stay attached, which is probably maybe the second time we've ever had that happen in a pull-through site because we are really long, including our truck.
Yeah, and it's nice to be able to, when you pull in for a late check-in and it's, you know, like 11 o'clock last night, you're not being super loud, disconnecting everything. So it's a nice convenience to have.
Absolutely. So the goal today is probably about similar drive time, maybe a little less than yesterday, to the middle of nowhere, Texas, which is pretty broad. So I think we'll just figure it out as we go.
When looking for RV parks, we use the Campendium or RV Life apps. We generally prefer KOAs just because they're consistent and they often offer late check-ins and bonus points if you have a membership like we do.
It was kind of nice to wake up in sunny Arizona this morning, and we don't exactly know where we're going to be for Victoria's next travel nursing contract after the holidays in January, but Arizona is kind of enticing.
Yeah, but like, could we really come back here for like a third time and like not give ourselves the opportunity to explore somewhere new?
That's true, but we could be in bathing suits in 3 weeks. I'm just saying.
I know.
If you haven't noticed, we like to plan our road trip stops by the seat of our pants. So if you're like us, our tip to you is to book your park midday once you have a good idea of how far you might get. But don't forget if there's a time change so you don't miss their office hours.
Hey Marley, you need to go potty? Let's go. We're about 100 miles from Las Cruces, New Mexico, and we just crossed the Continental Divide at 4,500 feet. It's a little chillier here.
While Barley and Oreo are going potty, I figured I'd give you some dog tips. Make sure you bring a portable water bowl, maybe some pillows and some blankets, and maybe try to hit up that dog run at the RV park before you leave.
Okay, So we just stopped for gas. We're like 30 miles outside of El Paso. We just filled up for $83.
I don't even know the last time we filled up our truck for under 100, like a long time ago.
$2.89 gas this year. That's amazing. Wow, that's incredible. West Texas, a lot of wide open space out here.
When searching for gas, look for places that are labeled truck stops or travel centers. Some common ones are Pilots, Loves, Flying J's, and our favorite, Buc-ee's. These usually have a lot more maneuverable area to get around with your RV. For our drive from Tucson, Arizona to Midland, Texas, we spent $257 in gas and $40 on an RV park.
Okay, about to kick off day 4. Pulled into Midland RV Park at about 11 o'clock last night, which seems to be pretty standard for us. And the thing is that as we cross the country, we're losing an hour due to time zones.
Pretty much every single night we've lost an hour. So today's goal is Shreveport. We've set a pretty good pace so far, already put in over 2,100 miles. We'll see if maybe we'll make it there, maybe further.
Yeah, we're looking at about 8.5 hours GPS time, so who knows what that means for us. And big shout out to Midland RV Park who let us just roll in late night. These late check-ins are so clutch in our situation right now, so appreciate y'all. I've never spent a whole lot of time in Midland, Texas, but I know there's a lot of oil fields around here, and when we rolled into this RV park last night, every single RV had a car associated with it. When I woke up early this morning, all those cars were gone, so I can only assume that they're all oil field burners.
Yeah, this is definitely a no-frills park. Hardly a speck of grass to be seen, but I guess it does the job.
Yeah, it does have free laundry. That's a win. People talk about Buc-ee's being the go-to RVers gas station paradise. Well, this is our first Buc-ee's experience, and we're about to walk up into what looks like a super Walmart. There's like 200 gas pumps. It's wild. We parked like a mile away. I told you, this place is ridiculous. You can get Christmas shopping done, you can get gas, you could like bring your girl out to a nice dinner.
We spent probably 45 minutes at this Buc-ee's. It's important to take lots of breaks, stretch, drink plenty of water. I mean, your bathroom is behind you if you really need it. We average probably about 15 to 30 minutes per break.
Shout out to Buc-ee's. They got everything you could possibly need.
Yeah, and this is the Buc-ee's in Carroll, Texas, and to imagine, it's not even the biggest one. The biggest one is in Luling, Texas.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
For our drive from Midland, Texas to Monroe, Louisiana, we spent $193 on gas and $40 on an RV park.
Arrived in Monroe, Louisiana at 11 o'clock last night. We are the models of consistency. And technically, this is drive day number 5, and we could get all the way back to Charlotte today.
Yeah, but we have done that drive before, and our 10-hour days have turned into 12-hour days, so I can only imagine our 12-hour days will turn into minimum 14, and that is too long.
Right, and we got to drive through Atlanta, so that slows you down too, so we'll see where we get today.
Also, shout out to Pavilion RV Park in Monroe, Louisiana for having a pull through long enough for us to stay attached.
That's right, that's twice on this trip.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. I mean, don't get us wrong, we are pretty fast at getting disconnected and set up, but leaving it on the truck just makes everything faster. And actually, before we head out, let's talk about this real quick. Traveling can be a little rough on your like health. You can't exercise, you're constantly sitting down, you often eat bad when you're on the road because you like stop and get food and stuff. We haven't stopped and gotten food not once on this trip, and we try to like bring healthy snacks in the truck with us, and that
we try to bring snacks. They're not always healthy.
Okay, well, healthier snacks. Now, the good part about RVing is your kitchen is literally right behind you, so you could pull off on the side of the road and use it if you want, but you still have to like pull out the slides and everything, so we just think it's a little easier to just pack up a lunchbox and have everything in the truck already. I'll tell you what though, after 4 days of straight driving, we're about ready for this to be over and eat like a real sit-down meal.
It is finally catching up with me. My arms feel like they're falling out of their sockets, which is probably not healthy, and I'm definitely not as hydrated as I should be.
Yeah. All right, let's get it moving today, girls. Let's go.
Our other food tip is to avoid fast food at all costs, because I don't know about you, but it makes me feel really sluggish and gross.
Just a heads up, pack the Dramamine if you plan on driving highways in Louisiana and Mississippi, because it is a rough ride.
It's real bad.
Maybe you grew up riding horses or really love wooden roller coasters, because that's kind of what it feels like.
Speaking of bumpy roads, it's a good idea to make sure your car maintenance is up to date before you hit the road. Prior to a trip, we like to get our oil changed, check our tire pressure, and even clean our windows to make sure that we can see well and reduce the glare at night.
We just stopped at a rest stop in Alabama, and question, we don't really know the answer. We spent 8 weeks here last fall into December, actually like the week before Christmas. And it was dreary basically the entire 8 weeks. You see this guy? Yeah. It was like that all the time. So it's just this latitude in northern Alabama, because it was kind of like this where we were overnight in, where did we spend the night in Louisiana? Monroe. But it's kind of on the same latitude, so like, is that just what it looks like? I don't know. That's just our theory. Look who came to the rescue. It's Bucky again. Yesterday we parked at literally the furthest pump away from the convenience store / grocery store / Walmart. Today we're having to do the same thing because there's so many people here.
It's popping here. For our drive day from Monroe, Louisiana to Athens, Georgia, we spent $231 on gas and $58 on an RV park.
By the way, we spent $80 in Buc-ee's last night in Leeds, Alabama.
That's minus the gas.
Yeah, not including gas on dog Christmas presents, barbecue sandwiches, and who knows what else. But
burrito.
Man, you can get lost
Jerky.
in that place. Yeah, the world famous
Lemon
jerky.
What did we not get?
And today is our final drive day, and this is what you call, folks, light work, because this is something that we would do on a normal travel day. We've got 3 hours to Charlotte. This is the kind of travel day we could do with our eyes closed, but we're not going to because that would be dangerous. All right, we just rolled up to my parents' cul-de-sac, and it's always tricky kind of backing into this thing. I got Victoria on the speakerphone. She's rounding the neighborhood to get the right angle at the street. So it's a long backup. It's like 100 feet. You got this. Oh, good. More passenger. Now straighten out.
See, I told you we'd get home in time for Christmas.
It's true.
With 2 days to spare and plenty of time to hang out with friends and family.
Now, we told you we were going to try and be very detailed about this, so I've got some numbers for you. Gas-wise, let's talk about that. As we cross the country, definitely got cheaper. Sitting at around $4 a gallon in Oregon still, it's right around $2.80 here in North Carolina. Total numbers, we made 16 stops for $1,543.
We stayed at 5 RV parks totaling $260.
Now that makes our grand total $1,803.
Now we mentioned that we do pack all of our lunches and our snacks, so it's not including any food costs. This is our bare bones cost for crossing the country.
Yeah, we didn't include our Buc-ee's spending spree.
Now there's a couple more tips that we wanted to add. So if you're the type of person that likes to listen to podcasts, music, audiobooks, on your road trip, make sure you have a few of those downloaded because you will run out of service at some point, and I guarantee you it's going to be during the most suspenseful part of a story. Another tip that I have for you is for your road trip comfort. Now, we are on the road a lot, so we've bought a couple of things that make it a little more bearable. We do a lot of work on our laptop, so it's very important for us to have a power source. So we have a converter, so we can actually plug things in. We also have a laptop stand and some good headphones that are noise canceling because I like to drive and listen to music while he works.
That's true. Obviously, a couple other things, pillows and blankets, always bound to make your trip more comfortable, but Victoria's #1 thing in our truck is her butt pillow.
Yes, it's about a 2-inch pillow that is perfectly conformed to the shape of my butt, and I swear by it. I love that thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it helps her posture while she's driving and keeps you a little bit higher above the wheel.
So I'm not driving like this. And if you missed any of the tips that we mentioned during the video, we are going to list them all in the description.
Now, obviously, we are not professionals here, so if you have a suggestion as to how to make a road trip more comfortable or more efficient, leave it in the suggestions below.
I see you, truck drivers.
Yeah, for real. So that about wraps it up. We hope you join us next week because Victoria has some big travel nursing news for you, where we are going to land next. Plus, we'll show you a little bit about the fun stuff that we've been up to with family and friends here in North Carolina since we've been back. Hopefully you enjoyed this look across the country and got some useful information from us. And of course, you know, we'll be catching you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.